Hola a todos, ¿qué tal? Bueno, hoy vamos a hacer un diálogo que es una de las partes del examen de Living Cert. Entonces, hoy vamos a practicar un dialogue construction que yo creé el año pasado durante la pandemia de coronavirus. I will explain everything in English because I think it would be more clear for everybody. But so I'm going to explain how to do it and the most important things when it comes to creating a dialogue construction. So basically, the dialogue construction is based on a real life situation where you have to explain to somebody something that the exercise is telling us to say. The dialogue construction is considered to be probably the most condensed exercise because it includes presents, pasts, futures, and vocabulary. Inside the vocabulary, they want to test your agreement between the words and adjectives. So throughout the exercise, I'll be giving you more than one option whenever possible, and I'll be taking down notes in case you need them. So let's start, shall we? So you talk to a friend who lives in Spain about the coronavirus situation. Marta says, hola, ¿qué tal en Irlanda? Say that you haven't been in school for the last 3 weeks. Say that people are working from home and are very tired. Say that you can still go to the supermarket. So in the first part, I haven't been in school for the last 3 weeks. We have two different options. We can use the pretérito perfecto, as it shows in English, which would be the verb haber, according to the person. In this case, it would be me, and the verb estar in participio, which is estado. Well, actually, it would be negative, so no he estado, okay? En el colegio durante las últimas 3 semanas. We have some agreement there. Las últimas, all feminine. However, in Spanish, we don't really use this structure, if we call it, but we use a different one. And what we do, which is actually shorter and easier, is that we use the verb llevar, okay? And then we use an expression of time, or a time expression. And that verb llevar has to go in present simple, okay? So, llevo, because it's me, llevo 3 semanas. In this case, it's negative, so sin ir al colegio. And if I'm honest with you, we use the option number 2 more frequently than option number 1. Okay, here goes the second part when it says people are working from home and are very tired. The people in Spanish is a word that is singular and feminine, okay? And this is really important, not only for dialogue constructions, but in general when it comes to Spanish, okay? So remember, it's la gente, even though you're talking about a group of people. The word is singular and feminine, although you're still referring to a group of people, okay? Very important. So in this case, we have la gente. Because it's singular, we will have to put that present continuous in singular, estar, third person singular, and then trabajar in gerund, so that would be trabajando, okay? Pues desde casa y, and here comes another example where examiners try to catch you with the verb to be, which is it ser, is it estar? In this case, is to be tired, so it's something temporary. So we use the verb estar because we're talking about la gente, singular again, so third person singular. And then pues the word tired, which is very tired, muy cansada. Remember, cansada, it's a word that can be masculine, feminine, singular, and plural, but we were talking about la gente, so it remains singular and feminine. So yeah, pay attention to words like the people, the police, the family, which in English are plural, and in Spanish are singular, even though they refer to a group of people. And to wrap up, we have the last part, which is so that you can still go to the supermarket. Now, when this happens, when we have two verbs together, like I can go, we're going to conjugate the first one. In this case, I can, so puedo. And the second verb remains infinitive. This happens because we have changed the first one, okay? So when we change the first one, we don't need to change the second one. Otherwise, it would become too redundant and difficult to understand, okay? And then we have al supermercado, so to the supermarket. But like we know, al, it's actually a plus el, that they fusion because this way it sounds better. Right, moving on to the second part, which says, Marta says, es igual que en España, y los profesores envían muchos deberes. So say that teachers send emails every day and are worried about us. Say that you have a routine from 9 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. and you study, you do your homework, and after lunch you do exercise. In this part of the exercise, they're going to test us on the verbs, if they are singular or plural. Also the verb ser and estar again. There is a bit of agreement, also how to tell the time, and prepositions. So let's start. So teachers send emails every day. Los profesores. Now the verb to send, which is enviar, so third person plural, envían. Correos electrónicos, emails. Although in Spain we can also say email, so we've borrowed the actual word in English. So, correos electrónicos cada día, or you can also say todos los días, for that every day. Now, they're worried about us. Here's what we have again, that to be, ser or estar. So, because to be worried is a temporary situation, we're going to use the verb estar. Third person plural, so están preocupados por nosotros. The word preocupados, in this case, because we're talking about the teachers, is masculine and plural, but it could be also feminine and singular, for example. It depends on the subject. So, let's continue. So, tengo una rutina desde las 9 de la mañana, 9 a.m., a las 2:30 de la tarde, ¿vale? I study, do homework, and after lunch I do exercise. So, all the verbs have to go in first person singular, present simple. Estudio, hago mis deberes, and there I realized that I made a mistake. So, hago mis deberes and here goes something that is constructed different in Spanish. That's the word after, okay? So, after in English is only one preposition, but in Spanish it is después de, okay? Very important. Después de, the two prepositions together, is after in English, okay? To be honest with you, this is not something that happens often, but we have to watch out for these ones specifically because this is one that I've seen a lot in these types of exercises, this one in particular. Now, so we have el almuerzo, which is lunch, because in Spanish we say like after the lunch. So what happens is that when we have to say after lunch, we say después del almuerzo. So after the lunch, which in English would be wrong, obviously. And that del, which is the el. Well, like as we know, we fusion those two words and they become just de plus el, del. Después del almuerzo, after lunch. And the last verb, so I do exercise. Hacer, first person. Hago ejercicio. And here goes the second paragraph. But yeah, like I said, we have to be very careful. So to sum up, the last sentence would come out like this. Y después del almuerzo, hago ejercicio. Let's go to paragraph number 3, which Marta says, en mi casa hacemos lo mismo, pero también hay cosas positivas de estar en casa todo el tiempo. So say that you can study without pressure and you can have many breaks. Tell her that yesterday you finished everything before 12 p.m. and you went to the park for a walk. Now, let's see this one when we have some verbs in past. So here we have another example of two verbs that go together when we're going to conjugate the first one, can, to be able to, and we're going to leave the second one in infinitive. So I can study, first person singular, puedo. The second verb remains in infinitive because we changed the first one. So puedo estudiar sin presión, without pressure. Y again, puedo tener, so tener remains infinitive, puedo tener muchos descansos. I can have many breaks. Another option, if we don't want to say that one, we can also say puedo descansar muchas veces, which basically it means I can relax many times, okay? Either option would be fine. Now, yesterday I finished everything before 12 p.m. Let's start with some pasts. Yesterday, ayer. To finish, which is terminar, because in this case we're going to use pretérito indefinido, because ayer is a finished action. So, terminé, okay, first person singular, pretérito indefinido. So, terminé todo. And here goes another example of a preposition that has two words in Spanish, which is before, which in Spanish we say antes de. Okay, so antes de, those two prepositions together become before. Okay, antes de, before. And then we complete the rest. So antes de las 12 del mediodía, no, midday. And then, so, which in Spanish we say así que, I went to the park for a walk. So went, so that would be to go, which is ir, and ir is a verb irregular. So fui al parque. We have another example of two words that fusion in order to make it shorter. So al, which is actually a plus el, to the park, para dar un paseo, like to go for a walk. We have another option, which is actually pasear, which is to take a stroll. So you could also say paseé por el parque. Okay, so that would be like to go for to take a stroll or to go for a stroll. And the last paragraph that Marta answers, oh, eso es fantástico, ¿y qué piensas del futuro? So we have a bit of future and hopes here. So say that you don't know when this will finish, but you're looking forward to seeing your friends and you hope to go on holidays in July. So the expression, I don't know, no sé. So no sé cuándo, when. This will finish. Future, because it's a future simple, so esto terminará. Because the verb is future simple, we use the infinitive and then we add a accent if it's a third person singular. So, esto terminará. Pero, now, I'm looking forward to something. We have two different ways of saying this. We can say, espero con ilusión. Okay, so that's one way of saying I'm looking forward to. Or you can also say, estoy deseando. Right? Both options are fine. Espero con ilusión or estoy deseando. However, see how in English it says, I'm looking forward to seeing. So we use a gerund in English. In Spanish, we have to use a verb in infinitive after. Okay? Either way, espero con ilusión or estoy deseando will have a verb in infinitive afterwards. In this case, we have to see, so that would be the verb ver. Ver a mis amigos, to see my friends. Okay, so ver a mis amigos, we need a preposition, a. Y espero, I hope, okay, espero, to go. So we have another verb in infinitive, ir. Okay? Then on holidays, which is de vacaciones, en julio. This wouldn't be the worst mistake in the world, but just to let you know that months of the year and days of the week don't take the capital letter at the start. So it would be just lowercase, like in this case, Julio, lower J, okay? And this is it. It's actually shorter than the actual exam, but it's the first time I'm using this system in order to record this exercise. So I just wanted to try something shorter, but actually it's not a bad example to show you how the dialogue construction works. So to sum up, all the things that you have to take into account when writing the dialogue constructions are the verbs, that all the verbs have to agree with the subject, singular, plural, first, second, third person. Also, if the verb is to be, pay attention to the situation, if it's something permanent or it's something temporary. And also the words around them, so the adjectives, they also have to agree with the person in gender and number, masculine, feminine, singular or plural. And that's me for today. So if you like this type of video, make sure that you click the like button, because that will help me know if these videos are popular or not. And I will see you in the next one. Adios.